Let me ask you something. Have you ever thought about starting a non-medical home care business, then stopped because of something you heard? Maybe someone told you you need to be a nurse, a doctor, or the market is too saturated, or even is not profitable. Sounds familiar? Hello everyone, my name is Michelle Williams, aka Coach Michelle, and I help aspiring entrepreneurs like yourselves start and grow their home care business successfully from the ground up. If you're chiming in for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you are returning, you already know how I feel about you. Mwah! Listen, I get it. When you're thinking about starting a business, especially in the home care industry, it's easy to get overwhelmed by all of the opinions, horror stories, and misinformation floating around. And the worst part, a lot of these myths have stopped so many people, so many of you from even trying to get started. People who could have built an amazing business, made great money, and most importantly, helped families who desperately need these services. But baby, not today, because today we're busting some of these biggest myths about the home care industry. And I'm not just going to tell you they're wrong. I'm going to show you why they're wrong. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's true, what's nonsense, and why now is actually a great time to start your own home care agency. Myth number one, you need to be a nurse or have medical background. This one right here, a lot of people assume that since we're talking about home care, you need to have some kind of medical degree, maybe be a nurse, a CNA, or have worked in a healthcare space before. But guess what? You don't. To those of you who don't know, there are two types of home care services. And I'm going to say home care services because people literally mix these up. First, you have medical, which is home health, the skill side, right? Home health agencies where nurses and therapists provide skilled medical care like wound treatment, medication reminders. And yes, if they're running that type of business, you need medical professionals because they're offering skilled services. But then there's the non-medical home care side, which is what we're talking about here today. This type of home care is all about helping with activities of daily living, things that don't require a medical degree. And here's the thing, some of the most successful home care business owners have zero, zilch, nada, none experience in healthcare before they get started. So why can't you? I've seen people come from retail, sales, corporate jobs, and they have built thriving home care agencies because they understand one key thing. Running a home care business is about leadership and operations, not medical expertise. Now, don't get me wrong. Just because you don't need to be a nurse, it doesn't mean there aren't regulations that require a nurse. In many states, you do need to have a registered nurse on board, a part of your team to conduct head-to-toe assessments of clients before starting care, doing supervisory visits, caregiver training, evaluations, etc. So it's very important to know your state rules and regulations. But here's the key, guys. That nurse doesn't have to be you. You can hire a registered nurse to handle that part of your business while you focus on running and growing your agency. So myth number one, busted, gone. Myth number two, the market is too crowded. I hear this all the time. People say, there are already too many home care agencies out there. How am I supposed to compete? And I get it. When you start researching, it might seem like there's a lot of home care agencies on every corner, in every building. But let me tell you why that thinking is completely wrong and why there's still a huge opportunity in this industry. First, let's talk about the demand. Right now, the senior population is growing faster than ever before. Millions of people are turning 65 every year. And guess what? Most of them want to stay in their own home rather than move into a facility, assisted living, etc. They want to stay where they raised their children. Families are actively looking for home care options. In many areas, the need for quality caregivers is still outpacing the need of available agencies. So there's room for you. Think about it. Many agencies offer the same core services, but the way you deliver care, communicate with families, and support your caregivers is what makes your business unique. So, myth number two, Busted. Now, myth number 3 is only for elderly or seriously ill people. Let's talk about this one because I know a lot of people hear home care and immediately think of elderly individuals who are bedridden or seriously ill. And while we definitely serve seniors who need assistance, home care is so much bigger than that. Here's the truth. Non-medical home care isn't just for the elderly, and it's not just for people with major health issues. There are so many different people who need this kind of care. And if you're only thinking about one group, you're missing out on a huge part of the market. Think about adults with disabilities. Many of them live independently but still need help with daily tasks like cooking, housekeeping, and or transportation. Individuals recovering from surgery, whether it's a knee replacement, a C-section, or even cancer treatment, may not be able to move around as easily and need temporary support until they regain their strength. And then there are busy families who just need a little extra help. Some parents of children with special needs hire home care professionals to provide support while they're at work and or just running errands, living their daily life. Here's another thing most people don't realize. Home care isn't just about physical assistance. It's also about emotional and social well-being. Loneliness is a huge issue, especially for seniors and individuals who live alone. Sometimes the biggest benefit of home care isn't the housekeeping or personal care. It's simply having someone to talk to, go for walks with, and even share a meal. People of all ages, backgrounds need support, and that's why this industry continues to grow. So, myth number 3, busted. Myth number 4, you don't need to have a license since it's non-medical. Okay, this one is a big misconception, and I get why people think this way. Since it's called non-medical home care, it sounds like there shouldn't be a whole lot of red tape, right? I mean, we're not giving injections or prescribing medication, so why would we need a license? Well, here's the truth. Some states don't require a license. In some states, you absolutely do need a license to operate a non-medical home care business. Let's break it down. Every state has its own rules when it comes to home care. And while some states are more relaxed, others have strict licensing requirements. Some require background checks, extensive documentation, and even an on-site inspection before you can start serving clients. And just like that, what I've mentioned earlier, some states also require that you have a registered nurse, an RN on staff to conduct initial assessments and create care plans, even though the services your caregivers provide are not medical. Now, does this mean you should be intimidated? Not at all. The licensing process might take some time, but it's there for a reason, to protect clients, caregivers, and the integrity of the home care industry. But here's where some people run into trouble. I've seen folk try to skip the licensing process, but please don't do this. The last thing you want is to start your business, build a solid client base, and then you get hit with fines or even shut down because you didn't follow the rules. So before you do anything, check with your state's health department or licensing board, community of health, Department of Social Services, whatever it's called, to find out exactly what's required. So myth number 4, busted. I wanted to say can't be trusted. Myth number 5 is not profitable. Oh man. I love this one because I get to prove people completely wrong on this. Okay? There's this idea floating around that non-medical home care is just low paying or break even business. People think you're just sending caregivers to help with basic tasks. How much can you really make from that? Non-medical home care is one of the most profitable industries out there if you run it the right way. So that's a key to success, if you run it the right way. First, the demand. We discussed this earlier. The need for home care has never been higher. Now, let's talk numbers. Y'all know I like talking numbers. Home care clients typically charge clients anywhere from $25 to $40 per hour for services, sometimes even more in high cost areas. And what's your biggest expense? Your caregiver's wages. Depending on your location, you might pay caregivers anywhere from $15 to $20 per hour, sometimes higher for more specialized care. But even after considering payroll, insurance, and operating costs, you're still looking at a healthy profit margin. Do the math, guys. Let's say you have just 5 clients who each have 40 hours of care per week. If you're charging $30 per hour, that's $6,000 per client per month. So now imagine you grow to 10, 20, or even 50 clients. That's how the home care business scaled to 6 and 7 figure revenues without needing a huge office, expensive inventory, or even hundreds of employees. So if anyone tells you non-medical home care isn't profitable, they're either looking at the wrong numbers or they just don't know what they're talking about. This myth officially busted. We just busted some of the biggest myths about the home care industry. And if there's one thing I hope you take away from this, it's that this industry is full of opportunities as long as you have the right mindset, the right information, and the right strategy. So you know what to do. It's time to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you can be notified each and every time I drop a new video. If you need assistance with starting and growing your business, go to homecarecoaching.com and schedule your 15-minute consultation. Take care, guys. God bless.